It is Wednesday, September 15th. Good afternoon to all of you wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining our Noonday Inspiration here at the Universal Center of Truth for Better Living. We do this every day at 12 o'clock. It's our time when we just stop, pull apart from our daily activities, whatever is going on, to remind ourselves of the truth of who we are as spiritual beings. And we use as a guide the Daily Inspiration for Better Living, which is a signature publication of our parent organization, the Universal Foundation for Better Living. And each month, we have a writer who supports his publication. This month, the writer is Blanche Wilson out of Chicago. And each month, we also focus on one of our spiritual faculties, our spiritual gifts, our mind centers, our thought powers. And the spiritual gift for the month of September is order, where we declare divine order in our life, in our world, in our affairs. And we also associate that spiritual gift with a particular part or area of our body. And the physical center is our navel. The color associated is green. And the disciple associated is James, the son of Alphaeus. Today, Blanche is talking to us about spiritual diagnostics. And she's reminding us, just as how we get a diagnostic for our car and for other things, we need to also check in for a spiritual diagnostic. So she says today's automobiles are so designed with computer technology that they must be taken to a specialist who has the knowledge and expertise to diagnose and fix the problem when the vehicle malfunctions. In like manner, we must go to the specialist, the Christ mind within, the inner recess of our soul, to diagnose and repair malfunctions or issues in our soul. In quietness and confidence, we commune with our spiritual self, confident that our soul will be restored. And as we meditate on an aspect of God, such as love, understanding, wisdom, and order, the Holy Spirit quietly diagnoses and reveals the source of the discord. So as our friends join us today, and I see you joining online, thank you so much for joining us. We're taking a spiritual diagnosis today because we're agreeing that our world needs God. Our world needs that focus on something bigger than ourselves. So join me. Show me your face. Come on. My world needs you.
Show me your face. Fill up the space. My world needs you right now. My world needs you right now. I can't escape by being afraid. Fill me with you right now. My world needs you.
Show me your face. Fill up this space. My world needs you right now. My world needs you right now. I can't escape, no, being afraid. needs you right now. My world needs you right now.
You know, we're in a season where every day on our screen of life, things are appearing. We're getting news of variants related to this COVID-19 experience. We're getting news of friends and family who are experiencing health challenges. We're getting news of transitions. We're getting news sometimes of people losing their jobs, losing their loved ones, businesses having difficulty. And it's calling all of us to do a spiritual diagnostic test. Because the same God that we say we believe in, if the same God is true and is real, and we know that it is, then we should be relying primarily on the presence and power of God to move us through. We should be checking in. We should be checking in with the higher power to say, okay, God, this is on my table today. This is on my screen today. How do I respond? Show me you in the midst of all of this. That's what we're saying. Show me your face. Show me you in the midst of it. Whatever is appearing for you now, God is in the midst of it. As ugly as it may seem, as beautiful as it may seem, God is in the midst of it. And can we take time to acknowledge that? Can we take time to shift our gaze and our attention to the presence and power of God? That's what our writer is talking about. She's inviting us to use spiritual techniques of prayer, meditation, and listening in silence to receive guidance, help, and direction, so that we can take the steps to repair that which has gone awry in our lives. So I'm inviting you today, I'm inviting me today. Let's take those spiritual steps. What step will you take? What aspect of God will you focus on today to help you grow through the exterior you may be going through? If it's a money issue, if there's some issue around finances that is your concern, then you want to focus on the substance of God, the abundance of God. And you want to ask your indwelling Christ to show you how that abundance can look for you in the situation, despite what is showing up. Shift your attention and let your prayer be, God, show me what abundance looks like in my life or in this situation right now. If finances is what you're concerned about, if what you're concerned about is around health, is around sickness, is around life, is around transition, death, then you want to focus on the life of God. And you want to declare that God's life as activity is always present. And it's present right now where I am. It's present right now where whomever you're concerned about is. You know, in Jamaica now, we're having a lot of issues with people wanting to take the vaccine or not wanting to take the vaccine. And we just have to be knowing the truth that the intelligence of God now moves in and through every individual, guiding them in the best decision So you want to focus on the aspect of God if it's around the life of God. God's life is your life right here, right now. God's life is my life right here, right now. And you can know this truth not just for you, but for others. If the issue is around a relationship of whatever kind, an intimate relationship, friendship, whatever it is, that there may be tension, there may be disharmony, there may be, separation. You want to focus on the love of God. And you want to know and begin to focus on that love of God, because that love attribute harmonizes, it heals, it attracts. And so you want to say, God, show me how love looks like, what love looks like in this relationship, in this situation. Show me you as love in this situation. If your issues around a sense of direction, what steps to take, where to go, what to do, you may want to call on that aspect of God as light, as illumination that shows you the way, the path that you're to take. You may want to say, God, illumine my way. Let your light so shine so brightly, so clearly that I will see which way to go, what steps to take, what moves to make. If your issue is around power, is around some area where you don't feel as powerful, where there's a sense of weakness, you may want to call on the power of God. You may want to call on the power of God and know that you have strength in God and the power of God's might. So of yourself, you're not doing it, but you're relying on the... Take time in prayer and meditation to make the contact and to do the spiritual diagnosis that gets us through all the issues of life. God is the joy. God is the strength. God is the source of our life. He renews everything. And our task is to rely solely on God. Sometimes something happens and our first thing is to, we run and we call our closest friend or our partner or somebody. But if we could just remember, right where you are, in the midst of whatever you're dealing with, call on God. 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 And this is the God of your being. This is not the God outside of you. By whatever name you call, if you need to call Jesus, call Jesus. And so in this moment, let us just acknowledge that God is our all in all. Just stay with me. God is my all in all. Whatever I may face, God is my all in all. God is my all in all. Come on.
God, He's my protection.
God,
My God He's my all in all. God,
Yes, God
is my
God is
light
my light.
in darkness.
Yes,
He promised to keep me, never to leave me, never ever fall short on his words. I'm gonna bless him, praise him in his mighty way. Keep my life clean every day. I wanna be with him, stay on the right track. I've come this far and I never turn back. God is, God is, God is, God is, God is, God is, God is my all in all.
God is the joy. Come on, declare it with me.
God is the joy
Yes.
and the strength of my life.
Declare it
He
today.
removes all pain, misery, and strife.
He promised
Promise to keep me,
never to
never
leave
to
me,
leave me,
never ever fall
never
short.
ever fall short on his
And so I
word.
keep
I'm
my
gonna bless and praise him in
I'm
his
gonna give
mighty
praise.
way. God is my all in all.
As you go through the rest of today and as you go through the rest of the week, go with God. Go with God as the source of all things. Go with God as the joy and the strength of your life. Go with God as that healing power and presence moving into and as you. Go with God as the light that surrounds you and illumines your way. Go with God as the love that enfolds you and draws to you all that you need. Go with God as the power that protects you and the presence that watches over you. Go with God because you can never go without God. Because wherever you are, God is. You are there and God is there and all is well. So wherever you find yourself, yea, though I walk in the valley and the shadow of death, fear nothing because thou art with me. And I'm comforted. God is the joy and the strength of my life.
He removes all pain.
Oh, yes, God. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful.
Never ever fall short on his words. I'm gonna bless and praise him in this
Bless
mighty
God,
way.
bless God, bless God.
Keep my life clean
Thank you, God.
every day. I wanna be with
Thank
him,
you, God.
stay on the right track.
Thank you,
I've
God.
come this
Thank you,
far,
God.
and I'll never turn
God
back. God is,
God is,
God is,
God is, God is, God is, God is, God is, God is, God is, God is,
God is my all in God is my all in all.
Yes. From Psalm 28:7 we read, "The Lord is my shepherd and my shield. In God my heart trusts, so I am helped." We're so grateful for each of you today. We're knowing that your world, your affairs, your life is enriched, prospered, healthy, happy, and whole, because you rely only on the power and presence of God. Thank you so much for supporting the Universal Center of Truth and Better Living. Thank you so much for joining us every single noonday at 12 noon. We always encourage you, share this message with someone. Share this message with someone so that we all can be reminded of who we are as children of God. You are a blessing. You are a benediction. Be that for someone else as well. And have yourself a fantastic day.